Well, it just so happens the CO once a month would make a run down to I-Corps headquarters to pick up bar supplies. So he knew we couldn't get to a PX. He says, well, we're going to go down on such and such a day. Make sure you have your truck half-ton ready. And we'll, going to make a supply run now. Canadian Club, $15 a case, fifths. Wine and gin were $9 a case. Vodka even, I think, $9 a case. Cognac, $17 a case. Scotch, that was expensive, $19 a case.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Now I didn't drink that hot stuff. I believe in the beer, and that was my limit.
Right.
Beer. Well, these kitchen drivers, they used to have ice making equipment at their like 7th headquarters or I-Corps. They had ice making equipment because we didn't really get milk, like fresh milk, until I think 54. It was all powdered milk, but they still needed refrigeration, and they would make ice, block ice. Well, where else can you get the best water for ice? At the water point. So we would supply the ice. I mean, they would supply the ice, and we would supply the bartering means. A bottle of this or a bottle of that. And these drivers would bring us all the ice we want. We dug a hole in the ground. We took a 55-barrel drum, put it in there. The ice was in there, and of course the beer wasn't brand name, but
it was cold.
It was cold. It was in that ice all summer long. And then food, they would bring us food daily. And in the winter, we had a couple of places we could hang like hams, keep it refrigerated.
Wow.
Ice chests. So we had eggs, bacon, ham, steaks. It was hell. But it just happened that way.
Yeah. So did you find Shorty, or did Shorty find you?
Shorty was there when I got there.
Yeah.
Because he had experience. He got moved out of his village. His village was closer to Seoul, and he got involved with being a houseboy just at the start of the war. So he was bumped around, and he saw a lot of death, a lot of the the innocent Korean people.
Yeah.
He lost his mother, I believe, and he said he had a sister. He didn't know where his father was, but he didn't think he wasn't killed in the times that he was actually involved with, getting in the villages. So he had a father somewhere, and but he learned to talk quite good English, and we could communicate. And we had like a mama-san from the village. She would do our laundry. Well, laundry, we couldn't really pay with our military script, so we always gave her a carton of cigarettes. Lucky Strike, I think they were 90 cents a carton. So we always had bartering money. No, bartering.
Whatever works.
Whatever works.
So she was there when you got there. She was there.
She was there.
And
She
you
was
just pick up and go with the flow.
Already doing laundry, yes. And, every other day she would come with, a load. Because we wouldn't rotate our clothing daily, underwear and stuff. But, you didn't have that much, so. but she was there. And of course, we'd give her food also,
Yeah.
because these truck drivers would come in with anything, and we couldn't eat all that stuff. So we would pass it on, and they would have it.
So how long did you stay in Korea?
16 months. Actually, no, I guess it was 15. Yeah, because I left there in May, and my would have been 2 years that I was in. Would have been in June 12th, and I actually got out in May.
So did you rotate out, or did the whole unit go home?
No, just me. Yeah, and I was surprised to get rotated out, because I didn't figure I would leave until June. But W being down at the bottom of the list, and O'Malley from Springfield was up here. He didn't go till the next time. I said, what's going on here?
Maybe they didn't like O'Malley.
Well, I don't know. But I left in June, and we went back there to Wee John Boo, and that was the Repo Depot on a train again, down to Busan, and on that LST again,
Yeah.
over to Sasebo.
And you get on the ship,
Got on a ship at Sasebo, the USS Marine Lynx.
the same ship you took on the way over.
Same ship. And it just so happens I have the paper.
Look at
Marine
that.
Lynx docks with 3,041 soldiers. Yeah, May 7th, 1945. But I didn't do any guard duty. I specifically volunteered for KP. I didn't get sick, and I didn't think I was going to get sick, and I ate well on the way back home.
I'll bet you did.
No guard duty on a bow.
So 6 more days back across the ocean,
Yep,
and
back
to Fort Lewis?
Yeah, back to Fort Lewis. We didn't stay there very long. I forget. And then it was a troop train from there to Kilmer, which was the Repo Depot, the debarkation camp. But that was one of the most interesting trips, rail, going through the Rocky Mountains with a steam engine. I don't know, they had about 24 wheels. They count the number of wheels, I guess, on a steam engine.
Yeah.
Well, this thing was big.
Yeah.
And we went from Seattle to Portland, Oregon, and then east. So we went through Wyoming and part of the Dakotas, I think. But interesting. The sights in May, spring, in the Rockies. Wow. Along the streams, the rails going around, and then getting out into the prairies with all the tumbleweed and stuff. Very, very, very interesting. And then we changed trains, engines in Chicago. And there we picked up a diesel and went right into Camp Kilmer. And we had Pullman berths, which was great. I mean, it was really an enjoyable trip.
Got to see the country, had a safe ride home?
Yes. The tumbleweed and how big this country is, you don't realize it. But it was quite a thing, so quite an ordeal. Camp Kilmer, I don't think we stayed there 2 days. And then we got our papers, and I think I took a bus to New York out of Kilmer. And then I think took a train actually to Worcester from New York City. And then the old railway bus from Worcester to Grafton. Farnhamsville.
Right where you started.
Right there at Finn's drugstore, the old drugstore.
So when you got home and you're out of the Army, what did you do?
Well, I had to, let's see, that was in 55. Had to get a car. So I got a 55 Pontiac. And then I had to finish school, plan on, you know, finishing the 6 months at Whitty. So that, the summer I didn't do much. I think I helped my Uncle Stanley Bean working construction. Blocks, you know, cement blocks.
Yep.
Putting foundations and stuff. I think we got, my wife, I think we got engaged in 55, got married in 56, so yeah. Halloween, yeah, right, okay. But then completing the school in Worcester Whitty, that was, I think I got through in December. Then I went to work for Leland Gifford as a draftsman, making drawings of drilling machines, and I got involved with a hydraulic engineer there who was, to me, he was a brilliant, brilliant engineer. He actually developed part of the Bendix brake system, hydraulic brakes. He was involved with that, and he got involved with Worcester taper pen, making taper pens. Very, very, very smart man. He made an attachment for a lathe, actually a tracer attachment that would be mounted right on the compound of a lathe. The whole tracer unit was one motor and probes and everything. And then you make out a flat template, and this thing is going to follow it, and the tool is going to cut it on the spindle. Ingenious. He had a control block that was probably 8 inches square by 2.5 inches thick, with 133 holes in it for the hydraulics. You know, talk about engineering.
Yeah. Wow.
And then from Leland Gifford, after 3 years, I went to Jamesbury. They were just getting started with their nuclear Navy valves.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there as a draftsman, and then got into tool design and manufacturing engineering. And then boss said, "You want to be a supervisor?" So I'll give it a shot. So I was a supervisor for quite a few years until, yeah, till 92.
Here you are.
Here we are, yes.
Well, I want to thank you for coming in. I really enjoyed hearing the story, and you were concerned you wouldn't have anything to talk about, I'll bet.
Well, that's true. I should have tried to take some notes. But
No, you did fine. I had the notes.
You had the notes.
You
good.
followed everything perfectly. Well, thank you for coming in.
Well, you're quite welcome.
Thank you for
and
your service.
I'm glad I could help out or be of some service, hopefully.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And that wraps up my conversation with South Grafton's Walter Wehner, which brings us to the close of this episode of Day Trip to History. I'm Bob DeToma. Thank you for watching, and remember, we're all living history right now.